name is Veruca Salt. I always get what I want, and this is my story. When I was a little girl, right about the age of 5, I was quiet, soft-spoken. I would always play with my dolls or watch something on the telly. I didn't like to bother people, least of all my mummy and daddy. They were both hard-working people. Daddy owned his own nut company. He was busy nearly every hour of every day. Mummy was busy too. She was a model. Mummy was always so pretty. I wanted to be just like her. We owned a very big house and it was always fun to explore, but after a while, it got lonely. I was never around people my own age. The only people I associated with were Daddy's staff members and Mummy's fellow models. All they did was tell me how adorable I was. Mummy and Daddy never really had time for me. When I was lonely, all I wanted was Mum and Dad's attention, but they were always so busy. Even if they were home, they never gave me the attention I needed. Mummy wouldn't even tuck me into bed at night. The maid had to do it. One day it got so bad I couldn't take it anymore. I threw my toys around, screamed and squealed, and threw such a tantrum. I want Mummy and Daddy! I want Mummy and Daddy! That day, Mummy and Daddy picked me up and held me. For the first time in a long time, they actually held me. I wanted to cry, but I couldn't lose this. If my tantrum made them notice me, then maybe... Daddy! I want a pony!
Of course, Veruca, sweetheart. Anything for Daddy's little princess.
I can't believe it worked! The more I demand, the more they give in. And so the pattern had begun. For years I always demanded more. And if I didn't get it, tantrum! I didn't earn attention, I demanded it! My daddy gave me anything I wanted. Ponies, candy, toys, games, dresses, shoes, money. I was the happiest girl in the world. Or, at least I thought I was. Even though Daddy always gave me what I wanted, he never really talked to me too much. He'd call me his princess and spoil me rotten, but he never really talked to me like a person. Mummy started buying a lot more wine as I started my demands. I started seeing less of her as years went on. Then I turned 12 years old and they announced the Golden Ticket Contest. Whenever Daddy bought me candy, it was from the finest sweet shop in England. But this time I wanted more! Daddy, I want that golden ticket!
Oh, Veruca, darling, you already have all the candy any child could possibly want.
Daddy! I want that golden ticket! I want it, I want it, I want it!
Of course, Veruca. Daddy will get you that golden ticket as soon as possible.
But I want it now!
Of course.
It wasn't a very big demand. I just wanted to see Wonka's factory. I wanted to win! That very day, Daddy had all of his workers sell Wonka chocolate bars instead of nuts. It took a week and 3 days to find that ticket. Every day I screamed louder and louder, especially after some German fat boy won the first ticket. But finally, one of the workers found the ticket. It was mine. I felt so happy. By the end of that tour, I was going to have all the chocolate I wanted, maybe even more. After the other winners were announced, the big day came. I remember I came in my best mink coat, the one I begged Daddy for when I saw the Queen's niece wearing it, and underneath a cute red dress with stockings and Mary Jane's. Wonka was a funny-looking man, and he looked kind of mad, too. When he brought us into the factory, he always kept his eyes on me. I never knew why. Another person I hated seeing that day was Violet Beauregarde. Ugh! I hated her! She acted like she was so great!
Newsflash, sweetheart. That prize at the end is mine. Red is totally not your color.
You clod! Well, blue makes you look ugly, so... Meh. I admit, not my best comeback. So we went through the factory, and I'm demanding to own every yummy-looking treat that I see. Daddy took notes on what to buy later, especially this beautiful candied boat that carried us across the chocolate river. I wanted an entire fleet of candy boats. Honestly, I cringe at how demanding I used to be. The fat boy nearly drowned in chocolate, and it made me smile so hard to see that blonde bimbo Violet get all giant and gross. I just wanted to poke her with a needle and pop her! After that, Mr. Wonka led us to a place called the Nut Room. I heard all sorts of chittering noises inside. He opened the door, and as I looked inside, my face brightened. The room was full of adorable, sweet little brown fuzzy squirrels. They were my favorite animals. I always used to feed them in the big oak tree outside our mansion.
Ah, yes, the Nut Room. These squirrels are professionally trained to sort, shell, and store nuts. Only the finest nuts go into my candy.
Ah, yes, fascinating, Wonka. Bit of a nut man myself.
Well, to each his own.
The squirrels were circled around the borders of the room, each at their own little station going through hundreds of thousands of nuts. In the middle of the room was a huge hole leading to a chute.
Mr. Wonka? What's that in the middle there?
Oh, that's the bad nut chute. That's where all the bad nuts go. The squirrels are so well trained that they can tell a bad nut from a good one just by tapping it.
Daddy, I want a squirrel! Give me one of those squirrels!
Oh, Veruca, darling, you have plenty of pets at home. Besides...
Daddy! I want it!
What she wants is a good kick in the pants.
Grandpa! Shh!
Wonka, how much for one of those squirrels? I'll pay any price.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of selling one of my squirrels. I'm sorry, but the answer is no.
No!
Yes. No. A two-letter word meaning not at all or not to an extent, which means you can't have one.
Daddy! Do something!
You're
useless! Fine, I'll get it myself!
Stop. No. Wait.
I bolted into that nut room. I wanted a squirrel, and no one was going to keep me from it. Daddy kept trying to call me back, but I didn't care. I was going to get what I wanted no matter what. I approached a particularly chubby squirrel. It was so cute and had its cheeks full. The other squirrels stared at me with their tiny beady eyes. I'll admit I was somewhat unnerved by this. I leaned towards the chubby squirrel and opened my hands to it. You're perfect! Come here, sweetie! Before I could even reach for it, I heard a piercing screech and all the squirrels jumped from the pedestals and onto me. Half a second and I was covered in the furry little demons. Ah! Get off of me! Get off!
Veruca!
It was like a scene from a horror film. The squirrels were pushing me, clawing me, biting me. Daddy, make them stop! Ah!
Wonka, do something! Save her!
Oh, I dare not get in their way. One time, an Oompa Loompa disturbed them on a particularly bad day, and, well, he was torn limb from limb. Awful mess.
What? Veruca! Veruca, Daddy's coming!
The squirrels pushed me down on the floor and dragged me closer and closer to that large hole in the middle of the room. What was down there? I demand you stop right now!
Where are they taking her?
Where all the bad nuts go. Down the garbage chute.
And where does that lead to?
The furnace, of course.
I couldn't hear what they said, but I looked up at everyone and my daddy was coming down. Yes, Daddy will save me. Wonka had a stupid, wide-eyed grin on his face for some reason.
Veruca!
Daddy! The squirrels brought me closer and closer, and then with a final push I slid down that disgusting garbage chute.
Veruca! Veruca, Daddy's coming!
Who do you blame when your kid is a brat, pampered and spoiled like a Siamese cat? Blaming your kids is a lie and a shame. You know exactly who's to blame. The mother and the father.
When Once Daddy came down, the squirrels pushed him in as well. I slid down so fast. It was a dark blur all the way down. I could smell the rancid, decaying garbage approaching fast. Then I landed. What is... Ah! What is that smell? Daddy! Daddy landed right on top of me. We were neck deep in a rubbish bin. Daddy! Do something!
Now, darling, it could be worse. Wonka said there was a furnace down here, but I don't think it's turned on.
Wrong again, Daddy. That furnace lit up before we could blink. This can't be happening. I was too young and pretty to be burnt in a garbage dump. I couldn't even scream. The smelly fumes were making me gag. The flames were drawing closer and closer. My gorgeous dress was getting singed. Luckily, though, Daddy dug through the garbage and found a small latch for us to escape in. Me first! Me first! My cloud grew and flopped onto a cold factory floor with Daddy next to me. Daddy, this is all your fault! If you would have just gotten me the squirrel, this wouldn't have happened!
Enough!
Something in Daddy snapped that very instant.
That is quite enough out of you, young lady.
Daddy, how could you...
I am speaking! Now, we are leaving this madhouse, and I don't want to hear a single word out of you. Do you understand, Veruca Salt?
Out of everything that happened, that scared me the most. My daddy never raised his voice to me, ever. I didn't know how to respond. He can't talk to me that way. I'm his daughter. At least, that's what I wanted to say. But I kept silent and walked with him towards the factory exit. There we were, the proud, famously wealthy Salts, now covered in molten garbage. My face and arms were also covered in claw marks and bite wounds. I still have those scars to this day. When we left that bloody factory, we tried to fly home, but they wouldn't let us on the plane. We had to go by ship, and not a cruise liner either. A rusty, smelly cargo ship. Even to the sailors covered in fish guts, we smelled horrible. I didn't say a word the whole time. I kept quiet. Funny thing is, this brought me back to my soft-spoken days. Once we arrived home, we stayed out of the public for a while. We took bath after bath over and over again. It took 6 months to finally get the smell out. Mommy had left us because she couldn't take the smell. After that, my father spoke to me for the first time in 6 months.
Veruca, starting next week, you will be attending Miss Claiborne's wayward boarding school for unappealing youth.
What? I had heard stories of that place. Children who lashed out and acted like criminals were sent there to be turned into well-behaved adults. Many of those children would rather be in prison. Most of them would end up there too. They torture children, don't feed them, make them work like slaves, and worst of all, they make them wear ugly uniforms. No, Daddy, you can't.
I can and I have. You are going to be taught a firm lesson. You have embarrassed this family long enough.
Never in my life have I been hurt by words, but those hurt me so much. By my own father. I'd rather be back in that garbage chute than hear those words again. 6 years have passed since then. The funny thing is, Daddy had only signed me up for 1 year of Mrs. Claiborne's school, but soon after he had vanished. Our mansion was left abandoned, nothing left, no trace of him or my mommy. They left me. I was forced to remain here at this god-forsaken prison of a school. I had nowhere else to go. They tortured me every day, made me do grueling work, enforcing lesson upon lesson, giving me inedible bile to eat. I became of age, I was forced to work hard labor for the school with no pay. Just a rickety old cot to not sleep in.
Wake up and clean this hallway, you worthless, lazy worm, you!
6 long years I toiled in this hell. 6 long years my anger only grew. This was a plot against me from the start. That damned factory! That damned Wonka! He ruined my life! I want justice! I want revenge! I've been drawing out revenge plans for so long. I've tried to escape a few times, but the security in the school is airtight. Soon, though, I'll make my way back there. I'll destroy that factory. I'll kill Wonka dead and bury him in his own chocolate!
Oi, Salt! You got a letter?
Letter? Is it from Daddy?
Daddy, she says. Dream on.
No. There was a gold W on that letter. I recognized it. Wonka, you fool.